The first thing the Galactic Coalition noticed about humans was how badly they were losing. Coalition observers hovered above the battlefield in silent observation craft, their feeds relayed across 100 worlds. Below them, the surface of Kepra 9 burned. Plasma scoured cities into glass. Orbital lancers carved mountains into molten scars. The Vyrix Dominion's warforms advanced in perfect synchronization. Towering biomechanical soldiers armed with gravitic cannons, molecular disassemblers, and adaptive shields that rewrote themselves faster than enemy targeting systems could react. By every measurable metric, humanity was outmatched. The Vyrix had better ships, better armor, better weapons, and they were winning. Human resistance is statistically irrelevant, one Vyrix strategist declared, its voice translated into coalition standard. Their technology is inefficient. Their fleets are outdated. Their biological limitations are severe. The numbers agreed. Human losses were catastrophic. Entire battle groups erased in minutes. Defense lines collapsed faster than coalition analysts could annotate them. And yet, the humans kept fighting. Not retreating. Not surrendering. Fighting. Coalition Commander Threxlan, a four-armed Calath tactician with centuries of warfare etched into his neural lattice, watched the feeds with growing discomfort. "This makes no sense," he muttered. "They should have broken by now." On screen, a human infantry unit, poorly armored, weapons barely scratching Vyrix shielding, charged anyway. They died. Every one of them. But the Vyrix advance slowed. Why? Threxlan demanded. The answer arrived 20 minutes later. Lesson 1. Humans don't fight the war you plan. The Vyrix doctrine was flawless. Total dominance through overwhelming force. Precision strikes. Predictable enemy behavior. Humans didn't care. When their cities fell, they didn't attempt to retake them. They flooded them instead. Collapsed tunnels. Triggered seismic charges centuries old. Turned urban zones into traps of fire, dust, and darkness. Vyrix sensors, designed for clean battlefields and orderly resistance, began to fail. Human saboteurs crawled through rubble with homemade explosives and outdated rifles, targeting power couplings instead of armor. One human was captured during a failed ambush. Coalition observers watched the interrogation. "You were defeated," the Vyrix interrogator said calmly. "Your resistance is illogical." The human, bleeding and missing an arm, laughed. "Yeah," he coughed. "We get that a lot." Then he detonated a device embedded in his own chest cavity, taking the interrogator and 2 guards with him. Coalition Command issued its first note of concern. Lesson 2. Humans weaponized sacrifice. The Vyrix didn't understand suicide tactics. Their species prized optimization. Individual units were replaceable, but waste was unacceptable. Humans did not share that philosophy. They rammed crippled ships into capital vessels. They overloaded reactors to buy seconds for evacuation. They stayed behind, not because they were ordered to, but because someone had to. A human fleet commander broadcast a message intercepted by coalition relays. "If you rehearing this, we didn't make it. Hold the line. Tell my kids I tried." The fleet vanished in a nuclear bloom that crippled 3 Vyrix dreadnoughts. Strategic analysts began revising projections. Human morale, instead of collapsing, spiked. Lesson 3. Humans are creative under pressure. The Vyrix shields adapted to energy weapons in milliseconds. So humans stopped using energy weapons. They launched clouds of metallic debris at relativistic speeds. Simple mass drivers tearing through shield harmonics not designed to stop primitive kinetic impacts. They hacked captured Vyrix drones and used them as decoys, broadcasting false signals and leading entire battalions into minefields. They strapped engines to asteroids. Actual asteroids. When a coalition science officer objected, that violates 17 interstellar warfare conventions. A human diplomat replied, "Yeah, we didn't sign those." The asteroid strike annihilated a Vyrix staging world. For the first time in recorded history, the Vyrix Dominion requested a tactical pause. Lesson 4. Humans fight for each other. Coalition observers noticed something unsettling in human communications. They didn't talk about victory. They talked about names. Did Jackson make it out? Cover my, she's wounded. Don't let them take the civilians. Even when command structures collapsed, humans formed ad hoc units around whoever was still standing. A Virex assault group once cornered a human medic. He had no weapon, only a satchel marked with a red symbol. He stood his ground anyway. Behind him, wounded soldiers dragged themselves upright, rifle shaking. The Virex commander hesitated. That hesitation cost them the battle. Lesson 5. Humans don't know when they're supposed to lose after 6 cycles. The Virex advance stalled. After 9, it reversed. Human factories, bombed, buried, half destroyed, kept producing. Civilian ships became warships. Mining lasers became cannons. Farming drones became surveillance networks. Coalition analysts updated their models again and again. They kept failing. Finally, Threxland requested direct communication with a human representative. The human envoy arrived battered, uniform scorched, eyes rimmed red from exhaustion. "You should surrender," Threxland said carefully. "You've lost too much." The human stared at him for a long moment. Then she said, quietly, "We haven't lost each other." Threxland felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. Fear. The end of the war, the Virex Dominion withdrew on the 12th cycle. Officially, they cited unacceptable operational inefficiency. Unofficially, their commanders admitted something far worse. They could not predict humans. They could not break humans. And every victory cost more than the last. Coalition archives would later summarize the conflict in a single line. The aliens had the better weapons. Humans had humans. And that, the Coalition agreed, was far more dangerous.